Nathan, I'm really glad you came over and thank you for your interest in what we're doing. And you asked me what I did for a living, and mentioned Nikan. And when I first heard that word, I thought, what's that? And of course, that's why we're here. And so, one of my favorite things to just introduce this to people is this magazine that Dr. Gary Linder put together. And Self Care Awakening, Be Healthy by Choice, Not by Chance. And health, among other things, more than anything, it's just one of the most wonderful things there is, but it's also a business. And it's one of the biggest businesses there is. If you look at healthcare, it's three something trillion a year, and our company is basically non-medical ideas. And if you kind of look at the back of this, you see, oh goodness, everything from kidney disease, poor immune, digestive, pain, blood glucose, high blood pressure, on and on. You could. There's a myriad of things, and if you just turn on the TV for more than a couple of minutes, you'll probably see an ad that talks about these and more. And typically, what it does is it says, "Ask your doctor," and have we got a thing for you? And then it mentions blah 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 real fast all of these other things that might happen, and of course, not to worry because there's medicines for those problems as well. And it brings to point one of the things I think is just really alarming. This idea, prescription bills, such a significant amount for most families, even if you have insurance. 4.3 billion prescriptions filled in the U.S. And what are we getting for all of those medications? Well, one of the things I think is fascinating is every year the numbers are going up. And if you look at the United States of America, all the bad things to do with health, we lead the world in problems. And just fundamentally, chronic diseases eat up about 86% of the nation's healthcare costs. And it seems like drugs invariably aren't really curing, they're just symptomatic relief that you take this every day for the rest of your life. And yet one of the fascinating things is all of these problems right here, they're really probably not symptoms of a deficiency disease by not taking enough drugs. Fascinatingly, what they can be is just maybe not drinking enough water or getting enough sleep, or what's your diet. And usually if you go to a doctor with one of these problems, this prescription pad comes out. They don't ask you what is your diet, what's your lifestyle as much. And as you look at this magazine, which I'd like to leave with you, it talks about toxins that the body is just burdened with. And there's just thousands of different things that come from our environment, even the water we drink. And not just that, about 75% of the population is afraid just to go to their sink and get a glass of water from their faucet. And so there's a multi-billion-dollar market for different bottled waters. And most Americans don't drink enough water. Water is important, but what kind of water? Sleep, something so foundational as sleep. A lot of research has been done on that, and Dr. Dement, he's famous for a quote right here that says, "Healthy sleep has been empirically proven to be the single greatest determinant for longevity, how long you're going to be here. That's a greater indicator than your diet, exercise, or genetic disposition. Sleep, how well you sleep." One of the big things is almost everything is laden with sugar. We eat way too much sugar, and we're just not designed to handle that. If you go to a grocery store and just look at anybody's shopping cart and you think, are we actually eating that? And so someone once said, you know what you call organic food 50 years ago? Food. But what we have is a company that basically offers non-medical ideas that I believe can dramatically impact life. Now, Nikken is a company that was started way back in 1975, and this is the newest iteration of that very first product, which is very popular to these days. And what it is specially configured magnets and other energies that are designed into an insole, and you wear this. And what's the significance of that? Well, if you've studied Japanese or Chinese medicine, a lot of it has to do with having more qi, life force. What does that mean? And all of these energy pathways, and I don't know what I'm talking about, but it sure sounds good. But seriously, if you look at the diagrams that they have, like on the foot, reflexology shows all of these points that actually do reflex to pretty much all of the body systems. And maybe you could try something. Why don't you stand up? This is one I like doing, is the breathing one, because it's fun. Okay, if you can hop off of that, and I'd like to do just a kinesiology, and this is muscle testing. And what I want to do is lift straight up, and you resist me, and we're going to do it with and without those, and see if you can tell the difference as far as strength and balance. So I'm just going to go straight up. Okay, you stop me, and just kind of feel about your toes coming up. And,
right there.
Okay, one more time.
Yep.
Okay, and then go ahead and step on those, and let's do the very same thing again. Isn't that fascinating? One more time.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Okay, now hop off,
My toes didn't even come up.
and let's see.
Do it
one more.
again?
Yeah.
Yeah, my toes come up.
Isn't that fascinating?
And that keeps my feet down on
Yeah.
the ground.
Pretty much anybody that measures performance sees a difference with these.
Can I keep my feet on during
Yeah,
this?
absolutely. Yeah, good idea. And let me show you one other product. This is one of my favorite ones, and this is also having to do with energy. And what it has is, this is kind of a gimbaled case with magnetic balls that roll real freely within.
Mm-hmm.
And what this does is, by throwing these around, it pulls out a magnetic field, and so using a massage action as well as magnetic stimulation, a lot of times people might have a little tension. Hopefully that's not altogether unpleasant.
No.
Is there any area on your body that's hurting, or
My lower back.
lower back?
Always right
Right
in this area, yeah.
Right here? Okay.
Yeah.
What's that feel like?
Feels good, the pain's gone.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I always think it's like pinched nerves or something inside there. But and my wife massages it and it doesn't go away, but
Oh, I'll have to let you borrow this and
yeah,
try this out. You know, this has an amazing massage action, but at the same time, it's throwing a quite significant magnetic field out, and there's a lot of synergy when you combine that. How's that?
my back doesn't hurt now.
Really?
No, and I'm serious.
Oh,
I have
imagine
the
that.
worst lower back pain every day, and it doesn't hurt now at all.
Uh-huh.
And it's a constant throb inside there, and it's gone now.
Really?
Yeah.
I've been involved with a lot of stuff. I've seen a lot of things, and I think if you looked at this as a business, it's a product that everybody could use practically. Nobody has it yet, and you think of all of the stuff that's out there. What can real consistently offer instant or near instant dramatic benefit? And there's not too many things more personal than hurting. And if you can lift that from somebody,
Yeah.
without any side effects, it's
I hate taking Tylenols or going to the chiropractor because it's only a temporary fix.
Mhm.
It's not. It's like putting a Band-Aid on it.
yeah. Let me show you something that's kind of fun to think about. Have you heard of Robert Kiyosaki?
Mm-mm.
He talks about this income quadrant, and basically what it is on this side of the board, it's a lot to do with leveraging your time, and over here it's leveraging not just time but leveraging other things as well, and so basically this is where almost everyone lives, is on this side right here. This right here would be employees, and this is probably about 90% of the people, and this is where you go to work and then you get paid. Now another option of doing that would be to be a business owner. And as a business owner, typically this could be a dentist or a plumber or a real estate person. A lot of times it's somebody that has a hobby that they love, or they learned a trade or a skill from their employer, and then they went off on their own and started their own business. And so basically, when you think about this, though, it's also go to work and get paid, except you've kind of created your own job, and your work requires your presence. The other thing would be kind of like McDonald's, and this would be a big business. And this is different from a single proprietor in that this is where you deal with systems. And probably a good example would be McDonald's. And you could have a McDonald's business, but the power in that is teaching other people that system, going to Hamburger University and multiplying that out, and that becomes limitless. Now, once you have some money, you can get that to work for you, and this is where you have leverage too, and that's investing, but that takes money to make money.
Yeah.
The thing I love about this size over here is, if you kind of think about this is over here, maybe together is 95% of the money is over here, and it's about 5% of the people. This is a high amount of people here, a few business owners here, but this is together probably 95% of the people and 5% of the money. And it's just not even close. The thing I love is, how can you get over into this area here? Usually it takes a lot of capital, expert knowledge, lots and lots of risk. And what I've really enjoyed about being associated with NECAN is it's something where you can put in effort, but not having to put a lot of money in. And instead of just going to work, getting paid, you're introduced to exponential income, where you teach other people how to fish, but you also teach other people how to teach them how to teach other people how to fish, and you get this multiplying effect. And so if you had an idea, something like 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 8 is 16, 2 times 16 and is 32, and so forth. It's just a lot of power and a lot of fun. And the thing I love about NECAN is basically, I'll leave this with you here, but this is just a little folder on what we call NECAN at a glance, and this is really what it's all about. This is what we're looking for. We're just seeking positive, enthusiastic, ambitious people who want to earn a great income from home while helping other people achieve better and more balanced lives. And so basically, like if you're in business, you have to have some type of product or service. I love these products because they're fun. We love them. We want to use them forever. When you have something that's good, that can actually make people feel good, and you get to be the first one to share it with someone. They've never seen it before. They discover how good this makes them feel and what it does for them. There's opportunity here, and then put the backdrop or the marketplace out there. It's hundreds of billions of dollars. As I mentioned, healthcare is almost $3.5 trillion. Mm-hmm. If we could just have a few billion of that, seriously, we feel that we could change everything. This is something that I wear all the time. There's so many people that have wrist problems, and I know so many folks, you do too, that maybe they went and had a surgery done, and that's thousands of dollars. Even if they've got amazing insurance and they got it done for free, there's still some downtime. Surgery is not entertaining, and it might not even work. And this is around less than $30. And I've had people where they didn't do the surgery. They did this instead. And the thing that's really fun is if you go to a surgeon, they're probably not going to be too interested in this because it doesn't fit into that business model. If you can make a few $1,000s in an afternoon, they're not going to say, well, let's try this first. This is $26. That it'd be naive not to think in terms of surgery if you're trained in surgery. And if all you have in your toolbox is a hammer, everything looks like a nail, or the other thing around, other way around. So the thing I love about this is what have you got to lose? Put this on. If it doesn't work, then you can try the surgery. But this is really, there's a huge market for these type of products. Let me show you one other thing since we're in our house here.
All right.
Water. I mentioned water, and this is from our faucet. Good municipal water. Just swish that and smell it before you drink it. Do you smell anything? Oh, okay. Some people do. Okay, just have a little bit of a taste and kind of think, okay, what's it taste like?
Kind of bland.
What does it feel like in your mouth? Okay, let me dump this. I'm gonna give you. This is from a machine. It's not unlike rain that fell at the top of a pristine mountain, came through all of the material in the mountain and the magnetics and the energy of the earth and the natural filtration. You won't smell anything, and you feel any difference? Does it have a different mouth feel?
Better taste. Yeah, it tastes better too.
Yeah.
The tap water was like thicker,
Mm-hmm.
and this is like
Smoother, silkier.
smooth. Yeah, it's
Sweet. Yeah, if you've read anything or heard anything about healthy water, some of the things that come up as alkaline water, ionized, structured, microclustered, mineralized, magnetized. Pi water is a big technology that's in specifically Japan and Korea, which is the water of life. Sounds kind of esoteric, but there's really something profound to that. And in fact, this is something we took off of Google. You can find a lot of pictures like this. This is a real popular, often repeated science fair project. And this is where a teenager for high school, they get sweet potatoes or flower bulbs, put toothpicks, and then basically they put that in different waters to see if different types of water are more friendly to life. Invariably, the one with the Nikken water is healthier. And so I always tell people, a picture's worth 1,000 words. And
Mhm.
hey, if a potato likes our water best, I'll bet your body will too.
Yeah.
And if you have a pet, they can tell the difference. It really is a healthier, more delicious water. The only downside is if you drink this much longer than just a few days, you're ruined. It turns you into a water snob. And but thank goodness, because it multiplies out. If you amortize it out, it's just pennies a gallon. And so all of a sudden you've got all the water that you want, and it's so cost effective that we use it to make our soup, our drinks.
I have a question. So, do you have to put the tap water into the machine?
Yeah, you just put
And it
ordinary
filters
tap. That changes nasty tap water into the most delicious, healthy, pure water that you'll find.
I think my mom would be really interested in this. She's consumes lots of water. I would like to show this to my mom.
Yeah. Well, this is yours.
All right.
And in fact, I'd like you to take this home with you and try this out on your baby, on your wife, your mom. And I'll bring you some water home to try too. You've been on the insoles while we're talking. Have you
Yeah.
noticed anything? Is that
And my feet feel warm underneath. They feel good.
that was the thing I noticed when I first got
Yes,
into
I feel
those.
heat under it.
Uh-huh.
kinda.
Yeah, it seems like it just helps the flow in your body. Yeah. Now, when you look at something like this, you probably get a gut feel, and I think one of the best things we could do is just see more of it. And we've got a meeting at our house this Thursday, and invite you to come. But also, if you have ever thought about having a business of your own, and if your ambition and have gumption, probably that's a thought, one of these days I'd like to have a business of my own. This is one of the neatest entries into it. It's the funnest thing I've ever done, because it's not just a business of your own, but you've got people supporting you and helping you, being part of a team, doing something that really does make a difference. I might sound corny me saying this, we don't know each other real well, but if you meet somebody and they're hurting, sometimes all of a sudden when they're not, they might even start to cry and come and hug you. So it feels like you're on a mission instead of just a business. So that's very rewarding.
I relate to that as a plumber. I know that I improve our nation's health by being a plumber, but this would be something I think I'd like to talk with my wife and I could do on the side and see where it goes from there, and I'd like to get out of the
Well,
plumbing.
I'd love to run with you, Nathan. Now, pretty much how this works is basically just looking to find a few customers day to day. What'll happen is you do basically what I just did.
Yeah.
This is the job description. We meet people that we'd love to have as friends anyway, share the story with them, and the outcome is some people aren't interested. Others would like to be customers, and others would like to do it as a business, and those are pretty much the options. But basically what we just did was what I just do over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And I'd like to recommend, let's go for a test drive. Think of maybe a couple of people that you might be interested in partnering
I have
with.
a few.
Okay, and then we'll just go together and show them these products, let them, feel what they do, and give them some of the water, and have them take a look.
I have some friends on the other side of Washington that own their own plumbing company, and thought about them and my mother and a few other people. Yeah, I'd really like to have my mom try the water.
Okay.
And my wife too. I know women are more in tune with their bodies than men are, big time. I've come to realize that lately with my wife being pregnant. And I'd like to see it work on my wife and my mother, and I'll be sold.
Okay, let's see what happens.
I'm serious. That's
Okay.
Yeah. Because I know my wife has pain and medical problems, and I know I need to drink more water. I don't drink enough water. I think that's, I know doctor told me the reason I'm overweight is because every time I think I'm hungry, I eat, and a lot of times my body's saying you're thirsty. Drink some water, and
that makes a big difference, Nathan. If you think, I want to do something, just go get a nice tall glass of water, and the Nikan water is just so much more satisfying.
I'm pretty sure that we would probably purchase one of the Nikan waters for home.
Oh, I know where you can get it.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate you letting me share this with you.
Thank you I appreciate it, Dave.
You bet.
Awesome.